Okay, let's give you guys some practice. So use integration by parts to integrate this. So press pause and have a go. Okay, so to do this, imagine this as being like one block multiplying with another block. So we've got an exponential versus a trig. So if you look at the list, we've got an exponential versus a trig. Now we're working our way down the list. So if you can see here the trig is above the exponential. So we should make this to be our u, and we should make this to be our v prime. So going back to here, we should make this to be our u. We should make this to be our v prime. So we would apply this this formula here to work this out. But if you look at this here, you've got a u here. We've got a u here. So if you follow the formula, if you start out with a u, later on you will need to differentiate it, and then later on we're going to need to repeat this process again. So as we repeat the process, as we repeat the process, this thing here doesn't get any simpler. It's going to go around in cycles, because if you differentiate this, it will give you something in the form of sine, and then if you differentiate it again, you're going to get cos. Differentiate it again, you're going to get sine. Differentiate it again, you're going to get cos. So this thing here is going to go round and round and round in circles. And then if you look at this here, integrate this, you're going to get e to the something. Integrate it again, you're going to get e to the something. Integrate it again, you're going to get e to the something. It doesn't get any simpler. So this thing here is going to go round and round in circles. This thing here is going to go round and round in circles. Whenever that happens, let's call this here capital I, the whole integral here, capital I. Whenever you have a scenario where this thing here goes round and round in circles, and this thing here goes round and round in circles, then you're going to have this scenario where you have capital I equals something plus, because it's going round and round in circles. This thing here is going to go back to where it started. So it's going to go back to the original situation here, something of this form here. And then you can then call this thing capital I. And then you can merge this capital I with this one here, and then slowly work out your capital I. I've explained this many times in the past. If you don't know what I'm talking about, then track back one of the early videos. But the point I'm trying to make is that whenever you can detect that this thing is going to go round and round in circles, this thing here is going to go round and round in circles, you're going to have a scenario where you have something, and then plus something, I, and then merge these two i's together. You see what I mean? Hang on, let's just integrate it. So if you integrate this, you could integrate this you could integrate this by hand and then repeat this step again and again. But rather than doing that, let's just complete this table here. Create this table. Once you've got your table here, then you can get to this stage here. Okay, so remember, it's plus, minus, plus. We've done this table many times in the past, so if you don't understand this, track back one of the earlier videos. So to integrate this, let's call this thing here capital I. So this thing here is called capital I here. So capital I equals, well, once you've created your table, then you can obtain this from the table. So the first term will be this times this. Remember, so this times this will then give you this. Okay, and then the second term will be a minus this times this. Because you've got a minus and a minus here, it will give you a positive. And then so normally we would then it will give you this thing here. And notice that this thing here is in the exact same form as the original up here. Okay, so basically take this thing out, it's a constant, so take it out. That will then give you this, and then notice that this thing here is notice that this whole thing here now is the exact same as this thing here, which we can then call it I. So call this whole thing here capital I, and then that will then give us this. Okay, that will then give us this, and then and then imagine this I as being, well, look at the denominator here. Imagine this I as being, hang on, imagine this I as being 9I over 9. Okay, so imagine it as being not multiplied by 1. That would then give you this, and then you would then add this thing to both sides. So that would then take you to here, and then now blah blah blah, blah blah blah, capital I will equal this. Okay, so this is your final answer.